I also wanted to know how you then decided to air this ministry of prosperity on television.
Well, because here again, I was trying to be this bridge to bring colored people, and not only them, everybody. Just got a letter from a young lady in Australia that got one of my tapes from a bank president. And you see, this idea of positive thinking and self-motivation is interracial. But do you know what I found also? A lot of people, a lot of the blacks just didn't think it was for them. Not even this message. Because they've been so used to the pie in the sky. You're going to get deliverance and freedom when you die. You know, you're going to fly around in heaven. And like that lucky old son, have nothing to do but roam around heaven all day. But that's not until you get to heaven. I spoke at the University of Alabama, again, back in the 70s. And a very sweet Christian lady from a nearby Christian college got up during the question and answer period and said to me, Reverend Ike, all of these blessings that you teach us about, good health, happiness, love, success, prosperity, and money, she says, these are wonderful blessings, but we're not going to get these until we get to heaven. And as I say, that's a fundamentalistic philosophy.
Right.
Not only the blacks, but fundamentalist Christians the world over. And so I decided to be that bridge to bring people from there. So I got in their faces, as I say. It's the lack of money that's the root of all evil.
Right. How would you say in the message of prosperity then, are there other ways to getting involved in or to gaining wealth, right? So that there is, at the same time that you're preaching prosperity, right? Martin King is preaching civil rights, and Malcolm X is protesting various forms of American capitalism, etc. How would you put your ministry vis-a-vis these other kinds of forms of protest, even against the government or pressing to get more inclusion in the government? Are all those things necessary at the same time as prosperity? How does that work? Or does thinking right and believing right, is that the main way of gaining access?
It all works together. I believe that a person's destiny begins with the way he thinks about himself. And since I'm also addressing a Department of Religious Studies at Harvard, let me use a little Bible here. Because the Bible says, as a man, I like to say, as a mind thinks, so is he. That's where it begins. And that's why Norman Vincent Peale appealed to me. And by the way, he got the same kind of reaction about positive thinking as I did about prosperity thinking. I remember one very eminent divine commented on Norman Vincent Peale's philosophy. He said, I find Paul appealing and Peale appalling. And so they found it appalling what I was saying. But the civil rights movement, with what Martin Luther King was doing, Malcolm, and all of the wonderful people, go all the way back to Frederick Douglass. And who are those ladies? Who was that lady? Harriet Tubman. Let's not leave the ladies out.
Mary McLeod Bethune, all of these women that were active and building an active club movement at the same time. So
I took a quote from Mary Bethune. Oh, how I enjoyed believe in her. She said, I believe in God. Therefore, I believe in Mary Bethune.